So your projection onto me, which is a projection, might be that I'm sitting here speaking. And that's what you've been taught to think about me, that I'm sitting here and I'm a speaker. And that I chose to become a speaker of non-duality, and that I was born in 1980, and I've chosen my life, I've done my life, I've lived my life, and who is sitting here now is that person. This person that came from the United Kingdom, had loads of opportunity, had free education system, had many gifts and opportunities, loved dogs, loved animals, always dreamt of one day being working with fish in the deep sea. But then I realized I was afraid of the deep sea, very scary. But I dreamt of working with fish. I loved fish. I used to collect fish, lots of fish. I had max at one point, I think about 8 fish tanks of different fish. And it actually sent me into being a vegetarian because I used to read the bed and night stories, and one day I was like 7 or 8 years old, I was eating my fish fingers. And I was like, hang on a moment. I'm eating a fish finger and I'm reading to my fish. And then that sent me to be a vegetarian. But then as I got older, I realized I didn't want to work with fish. Anyway, that person isn't sitting here now. Even though I've told you that wonderful story about myself that you've never heard before, that I loved fish and I know a lot about tropical fish and how to keep them, that person is not sitting here speaking to you. And then that's abstract for the mind to imagine. That's like, but how can she not be sitting here talking to you? Is that who you are now? Are you a story of your past that's listening to me? Are you somebody that's come from the past that's listening to me? Or is the simply listening happening? What is it? I can't answer these questions to you, but I can just suggest things and then we can see what happens. So you might think that I am all these things. I'm a blonde woman that comes from England, likes fish, lots of privilege, was very fortunate. I had to also struggle as well. You might think she's sitting here now, but I don't. I see that as a story of the body, but not somebody that's speaking. I don't know what that would look like if that person from the past, in which I'm telling you about, somebody that collected fish, would sit here and speak. I don't know how that would look. What the experience is that there is this like beautiful feeling here in my heart, and then it like travels up. It's not even in my heart, there's just a beautiful feeling here, and it travels up, and then there's like vibration happening, vibration, and then out comes sound. And then there's a microphone, and there's humans. And that's my experience. My experience isn't that I'm somebody that collected fish and comes from England and traveling around India and is sitting here. Is that your experience? Is your experience that you're somebody sitting there from the past? Or is your experience presence? Is your experience what it always is, this moment? This to the thinking working mind can be a little bit boring, because the thinking mind is about achievement and getting and doing and thinking. And subject-object is about thinking about what has happened and how you can do something for the future. And it's about thinking about you in relationship to others. So in this subject, I'm trying to point to something that's present right here, right now, but I cannot really point to it because it's not a thing. So it might seem like it's a really boring, but it's actually miraculous. What's being pointed to is wonderful. It's magic. And it's something that's overlooked because we're in a hallucination of ourselves. We're in this waking dream. That's what some spiritual people like to call it, a waking dream. That you're sitting here listening, and the listening and the hearing and the sound of the crows and the speaking is who you are, this moment. And then you've got this waking dream that you're somebody that's come here from the past and that you've got something to fulfill in the future. And you believe that is who you are. Somebody that's not here now is who you are. Which is quite amazing that that took hold in our society, because that's obviously not who you are. Who you are isn't a story. Who you are is what's always here. Who you are is what you always have. It's your birthright.